So before I start, the topic for discussion that I was given was the value of mentorship for women in law. So I'll just tell you a kind of funny story. So I think it was last year, mid last year, when I was still in the commercial division, I was delivering rulings. So this young lady comes and she says, "I've come to receive a ruling." So I said, "Okay, start the introduction." So she says, "I'm so and so, holding brief for Council," and I'll just give a random name, Council Mukasa. So I said, "Okay, so what's his first name?" And she said, "Council." "What's his middle name?" "Mukasa." So I said, "His first name is?" Said, "His first name is Council." I said, "Are you sure about that?" Then she was like, "Yeah, his first name is Council and his last name is Mukasa." So I said, "Of course, they're your feelers and antennas." So I asked her, I said, "Are you enrolled?" So she was like, "No, but I'm doing clerkship." "Go and call Council Mukasa. And then when he comes, that's when I'll give you the ruling." So she came the next day and she said, "I'm really sorry. I should have been honest. I'm actually a fourth year, I think, law student. But I was told to come and pick the ruling." So I was like, "You know what? You've impressed me because of your confidence levels. That's very impressive. But the one thing I need you to deliver a message to Council Mukasa that he's not doing a good job mentoring you." So, you find these ladies who are very confident, they really want to learn, but us as people who should be mentoring them are not mentoring them effectively. So I told her, "You know what? Here is my number. When you get a moment, come in, let's have a chat, and we see where you want to go." So for me, that was my first, it showed me how many young ladies have the confidence, really want to excel in this profession, but they need to be guided in some of these small things. Now, school is a different story. I think we all went to LDC, and it was a nightmare, of course. But when we went to LDC, you just learn things. You learn the book version of things. You don't learn the actual practical things that we do. So my first mentor, or maybe before I ask, what does mentorship mean to you? Let me see if there's any confident young female lawyer. What does mentorship mean to you? Okay, thank you. So there's an operative word there. She used guided. Then she used superior, although I don't agree with the superior. It's maybe experience is a better word. So for me, I'll just give you a short sort of definition that I think, and this is my personal definition, is a mentor is someone I look up to and inspires me and pushes me to achieve more. So that's my definition of mentorship. So who knows Oprah Winfrey? So Oprah Winfrey's definition of a mentor is someone who allows you to see the hope inside yourself. So another key word there is hope. So a mentor should be able to inspire, and a mentor should be able to give you hope. And then, there are so many definitions by different people. Who knows Steven Spielberg? So Steven Spielberg says the delicate balance of mentoring someone is not creating them in your own image. And that's why I told you that superior is not really a word that comes in mentorship. So a delicate balance of mentoring someone is not creating them in your own image, but giving them the opportunity to create themselves. So that's sort of what mentorship should drive to. Then the mediocre mentor will tell. So if your mentor is telling you what to do, that's not mentorship. A good mentor explains, the superior mentor demonstrates, and the greatest mentors inspire. So when you're looking for a good mentor, you should look for someone who inspires you. It's not how the person dresses. It might not even be the position the person holds, but it should be someone, when you look at them, you want to emulate them. And you want to emulate the things that they do, and they really inspire you to be who you'd really want to be. So that's what a good mentor should do. So, so the importance of having a good mentor cannot be overstated. So when female lawyers, and I guess even the male lawyers, come out of law school, your future is daunting. So law school sort of gives you some shield. You're reading, you're feeling like you're going to get out there and do great things, and you're all pumped, and you have these graduation parties from LDC, and then you get into the real world. If you're lucky, you get a job immediately. If you're lucky, you get a job in a law firm. If you're lucky, you get into a company, and then that's when you see that things are not as fantastic as you saw them on TV. Of course, all of us, when we just started out, like a paycheck is a bit small. You have this grandiose thought in your mind that you're going to be like the TV lawyers who go to court and everything is, you get to court, first of all, you find yourself saying things like "Kanso Mukasa." You're blasted by the judge. Everything you read, everything you thought you knew, everything that you did in your oral exams is so different. It's so different, and you don't know. You sort of feel like you didn't go to LDC. So I think at that point, we as female lawyers should mentor, and here I'm going to be selfish. Councillor Singire, sorry, you're with ladies, so I'm going to be selfish. I think we need to, as senior lawyers, we need to at least get a group of like 5 or 10 young lawyers and take them through that process that they should expect. Now, I've seen some of the things that happen these days. And I mean, I'm sure female lawyer bosses will see this. Female lawyers tend to want to do desk work. You sit at your desk, they give you work. You either fear court, you fear to go to lands, you fear to go to company registry. So when we were starting out, first of all, your salary had to do all that. You'd go to land, to the registry, like 5 million times a day. You'd climb up the stairs of company registry like 5 million times a day. Now, I tell some of the young lawyers I'm mentoring that there's nothing that will help you in your career more than the networking. I think Joyce touched on it. You must be able to identify with the people that you're going to get things from. Now, if you're a lawyer and you don't know any registry official, and you don't know any clerk in a court, and you don't know any registry staff member in URSB, I don't know what you're doing. If you're going to sit down and do your opinions, and that's it, that's why the men will always have the bigger jobs. Now, of course, some of the male senior lawyers will send the men to do the grunt work, because us women want to sit down and look pretty and do the desk work. You will not get anywhere without knowing the people that you're going to be approaching to do work for you. So one thing as a mentor I'll tell you is get out there. First of all, no one cares that you're a woman anymore. And as mentors, we need to tell you that nobody cares. If you're given work, if it takes you 500 years to go to the registry, you do it. You jump on a border, whatever it is. So these days, the world has moved past, and I think the narrative of women is no longer that of, please help them, they're women. We are giving you an opportunity. It's going to be equal to a man's opportunity, but you must show us that you can do it. So as mentors, we need to also inspire each other to do better than what we are perceived to be. So, I encourage you as ladies, I guess start looking at yourselves as men, in as far as work is concerned. So a good mentor, like I said, will inspire you, will develop you, will push you. She'll share experiences of things that you did not learn in law school, will expand your experiences and your perceptions, and will help you understand the career path ahead. So again, as female lawyers, we need to understand, you know, again, we did law because it was a course our parents wanted us to do. We finished. And then you find many lawyers are burning out because they don't really understand whether that is what they want to do or whether what they're doing in the sector of the law they're doing is what they want to do. When I started law, I wanted to be a criminal lawyer. As soon as I went into real life, it's a totally different, it's a different ballgame. So I realized that that's not what I wanted to do. So my mentor at that time helped me see the direction I wanted to be. So we've all studied all these subjects, but you need to see where you want your focus to be. You can start off, you know, general, but as you go on, your mentor should be helping you to see which part of the law you want to focus on. And that's what a good mentor would do for you. So, you know, mentors should be good role models for their mentees, you know. It's not just being a mentor, but it's also to show that you're inspiring this person, okay? So where do you find mentors? Mentors can be found here. Mentors can be found in law firms where you practice. Mentors can be found in social and networking events like these ones. They can be found in bar associations. You know, all these CLE events we go to, all the speakers who are there usually amazing speakers. Those are the kind of mentors you'd want if you're interested. If you go to like some social media platforms, you know, I checked out Female Lawyers Network Instagram page, and some of those things are the ones that would show you where to find mentors. So look for a good mentor, look for someone who inspires you, and make sure that you take advantage of this. And since it's free, so again, do not restrict yourself to having a female mentor. Male mentors are very good as well. My first mentor was male. And the one thing he taught me how to do is to write. So, you know, you'd go do your opinions, he sends them back. You do your pleadings, even templates that we've used over and over. He'd send it to you, you do your usual, he sends it back to you with mistakes to correct. You correct it, he sends it back with more mistakes. Like 3 times. So one time I wrote him a note and said, sir, I hope this is the end. I think I'd redone that draft like 10 times. And it's the same draft I'd been doing. But he'd look at it, there's a full stop missing, there's a comma missing, you haven't crossed your T. So one time I'd had it, I said, I put on a post-it note. I said, sir, I hope this is it. So he wrote back to me and said, okay, fine, fair enough, it's good. But next time, don't put the date in French. So you think you've done your best, but so that kind of person pushes you to do your best. So the date was in French, I hadn't noticed. I don't even know how it got into French. But yeah, so that's the kind of mentor you need, someone who is going to push you until you actually become the best in what you do. So I've told you where you find mentors. Then with a mentor, you must find someone who is willing to mentor you. So don't just look for someone who is busy, find someone who is willing to mentor you, and someone who shares values with you. So if you don't have the same values as this person, that person will never be a good mentor. And then you should find someone who is easy to communicate to and will communicate often with you, okay? So just as a summary, mentoring is important, and this is on why it's valuable to have mentorship, is because the academic side of our training does not prepare us for practice. So you need to find someone who will help you navigate, you know, what real life practice is, and then it helps builds your confidence as a mentee, and it helps you in personal improvement, and you look at this person, they'll tell you their story, and they'll tell you how they moved from being a junior lawyer to a senior lawyer to a judge. So some of these people have the experience and the stories to tell, okay? So look for someone who has a story to tell. And this will also help you, in the roles you're taking on. So just as a final thing, the Bible and society gives men certain roles. And the men's role is one of provider and protector, right? And the women's roles, historically, were nurturer and homemaker. Today, and I'm sure if I got everyone to put up their hands, women are providers, they're protectors, they're nurturers, they're homemakers, they're wives, they're, there's so much that we're doing. So I'm sure you've seen people who are running to their to drop their kids in the morning, to meet the teachers, go to work, look for money to pay off the loan, buy food. You're in school, you're doing a PhD. It's too much. And then you're the wife who has to go home and cook food for your family. Now, if as women we can do all that, what can't we do? If we can juggle all that that's difficult, why can't we not be the best at what we do? Now, look for a mentor or look for a woman who has had experiences that are beyond what you have done and see how they are thriving. This business of being just tagged as women it's not a derogatory word. Women are women because we can do all those things. We have the capacity to do those things and even greater things. So I encourage you ladies, kindly do not take the feminine power that we have and make it a weakness. You must understand that this feminine power we have is going to get us places, and as FLN members, at least I want to hear some very good stories that come out of it. Joyce, I'm very proud of you, and you're actually showing exactly what women are capable of, and yeah, so thank you for listening to me.